What I've read about picking watermelon at the best time, the 5 rules, so there's actually 6 rules there. Very sweet, very flavorful, but it just shows you those 6 signs that the all-day folks used to swear by is true. Hello and welcome to One Step at a Time Farmstead. Join our family on our journey as we build a like-minded community while living life on our terms in accordance with our beliefs, our convictions, our desires, and above all, our faith in God and our God-given calling.
We promote a self-sufficient, self-sustaining lifestyle, especially with regard to fresh produce and fresh meat and the preservation thereof.
It is our objective to prove that the self-sufficient, sustainable, healthy, happy, and fulfilling lifestyle is possible, even in an urban setting, while adhering to various laws, rules, and regulations of our government.
Our ultimate vision and goal are to obtain and establish functional and profitable farm enterprises where we produce wholesome foods grown and raised according to our conviction in the way that God intended. In other words, organic, natural, chemical-free.
Furthermore, it is our aim to teach and train in the various principles of self-sufficiency, self-reliance, and food security. We foresee hosting, supporting, and sponsoring masterclass training workshops in accordance to our call to the ministry of God.
With your support, we know we can achieve these goals.
Welcome to my wonderfully overgrown garden, where I started the orchard. I planted some cucurbits. I planted watermelon over here. Over there, by the early red apple tree, I planted spunsback, cantaloupe or sweet melons. And I had some herbert squash over by the fig tree, and by the nectarine tree I had butternut squash. Yeah, and basically what I did is I planted it basically to serve as a living mulch. And when I mowed the lawn and with the watermelons blooming and starting to form fruit, I couldn't mow around here, so yeah, some of the grass took over. But okay, right here I've got 2 nice sized watermelons side by side. Basically this one you can see is still a bit elongated, which they call the male form for some reason, and this one is rounded. Now this one actually grew and this one was still tiny. Now this one is actually bigger than this one.
Yeah.
But this one should be more matured. And what I've read about picking watermelon at the best time is, first of all, if you look at it, this one you can see is still quite glossy and shiny. This one on the other hand is a bit more matte in color. So that's the first thing you look at. Second of all is, they say, look at the field spot or the bottom spot on the watermelon. And this one, there's some dirt, but it's still very white. This one has a bit of a yellowish coloring to the spot. Thirdly, by the sound.
It sounds equal.
I don't know. This one has got a bit of a higher pitch than a lower thumping than that one, but it's still very close. And then lastly is they say you have to check the tendril by the stem of the watermelon. Now if I check it, if I can actually show you, yeah, there's the tendril going from the stem over here, and it's still okay. So from the stem, the tendril closest, so that's a leaf. I can just remove that. But if you follow the tendril, you can see it's also forming leaf, but it's still very green and much alive. Okay. On this one, if we follow the stem, here you can see the tendril is dark brown and dried out completely. Now that's also a sign, they say, that it is done. Okay, I just want to get a view here of the tendril. Here we can see it's, oh well, there you can see it's brown and dry. I don't know, some spots on the watermelon. Oh, the first one is what they call the webbing. Now if you look at this over here, I don't really see webbing on the watermelon, whereas with this one, here's a little bit of webbing starting here. But I'm still quite unsure whether this one is completely ripe or not. But you know, comparing the two, this one seems to be quite further along. The only thing that actually bothers me is this stem already started breaking off over here. So I think I'm gonna pick this watermelon. And then just see if we have a nice, sweet, juicy watermelon. So basically, the 5 rules again is, if you look at it, elongated means male and still not ready. Round, they call female for some reason. And that shows that it's a sweeter, riper watermelon. Also on the weight, if it's really heavy, but both of these feel quite heavy to me, so it's difficult for me to judge according to that. So there's actually 6 rules there. Yeah. First of all, if it loses its gloss and it's more matte in color, that's a good sign of ripeness. Second of all, if it's rounder instead of more elongated, that's your second good sign of a nice ripe watermelon. This one is more round than that one. Third of all, the weight. Fourth of all is to check the tendril and see if the tendril closest to the watermelon on that stem is dry, and this one is, and check for webbing. This one doesn't have a lot of webbing, but it looks, there's at least a little bit. And then last of all, to check the field spot or the ground spot. If it's white, it's still unripe. If it's more yellow or tannish in color or orangey, that's also a good sign that it's ripe. So we are going to pick this watermelon and we'll slice it up inside the kitchen. Come on. And now hopefully with this one gone, the vine can concentrate on feeding that watermelon a bit more, even though that one is already bigger. Julle trap op my wartlemoene. Okay, let's get inside. Pardon us if we look a bit dirty. It's probably because we are, but our hands have been washed. Did you wash your hands?
Yeah, it's blinking.
Anyway, I was busy mowing the lawn. Okay, now let's get to this watermelon. And Lucian said he wants to cut the watermelon today. So I'll just sit here and help and supervise him. But first of all is to go and thoroughly wash the watermelon. So off you go.
Okay, it's heavy. It's like,
Take your cloth.
it's at least 10 kg. It's clean and nice and heavy.
Nice and heavy.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, the solution, what you want to do, you're left-handed now.
Yeah.
Okay. Have it like this, and from there,
Got it.
okay, let me do the edges.
Okay.
Then you can slice the rest. Okay, at least we know it's red. Okay, see these lines?
Yeah.
Okay, from the top, try and follow the line. To the bottom.
It's hard, I can see.
Okay. See the line?
And then cut.
First wedge. Okay, let's taste it.
Sweet.
I'm going to try and save as many seeds as possible to plant again next year. So every time you do that, the more and more adapted to your specific climate the watermelons will be. More resistant to pest pressure.
But the watermelon is very sweet.
It's very, very sweet. And it's homegrown. Okay, and I'll keep the watermelon rind to make some
Yeah.
makketaan. Afrikaans is called makketaan, which is basically a preserve made from the watermelon rind. Or we can almost say candied watermelon rind. So yeah, very sweet. very flavorful, and I'm very proud of Lucian and myself. But it just shows you those 6 signs that the all-day folks used to swear by is true. Check that your field spot is yellow, number 1. Check that the watermelon lost its gloss and turned to a more lighter matte green color. Thirdly, weight. It will be quite heavy because it's full of water. Then we check the tendril, that it's completely brown and dried out, not the stem, the tendril by the stem, that it's more round than elongated. And what was the final one? Oh, the sound. Okay, the sound I'm still struggling with. This specific variety was the Crimson Red, which is, I think, more or less the same thing that what you normally get at the grocery stores, I believe. But anyway, it's delicious. We are going to keep this one for fresh eating. And then the skins I keep to make that rind preserve, and I'll maybe share that recipe with you as well. In the past, we did make a watermelon marmalade. Okay, we call it marmalade because I use it with the skin, and we sold this at the farmer's market, and it's actually quite
Sweet.
Yeah, it's sweet, but it was quite popular. Actually, the reason why I did this is because I was told that you cannot make jam from watermelon, and I was looking for a way to preserve it, so I thought I would do it in any way. And okay, it did take a lot of cooking down, to reduce the water content, but it came out very nice. This specific one is actually a bit runny, but for those that came out, a bit more runny, we use it as a syrup on our ice cream and stuff like that, and it's
Awesome.
absolutely awesome. But let me know, what do you do to try and preserve your watermelon if you've got a huge harvest? The other thing that we also still need to do is to make watermelon wine, but I actually I don't know how big my harvest is going to be this year, but if there is quite a bit of a big harvest, I will try and make watermelon wine. And then also I'm saving some of the seed so it can basically dry out, and then we will use it next season to plant. And like I said, every time that you save seed from your fruit and you use that to replant in the next season, the more adaptable or the more adapted your fruit gets to your specific area. I did plant a few sweet melons or cantaloupes, so I don't know if they maybe have been cross-pollination, but I don't really know. We'll check next season, but I'm sure this seed will be fine next year. Yeah, and that is that from our side, but I would love to know what you do to make most of your watermelons. Like I said, watermelon wine is one thing that I know is quite popular, and I tried the jam, but what do you do to preserve yours? Lucian mentioned something about making like a watermelon ice cream.
Yeah, I want to taste it.
I want to actually look into that and see if that is possible.
Yes.
But we'll see. But anyway, congratulations, boy.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful, sweet watermelon. Yeah, and thank you for spending time with us. I think this video will be kind of a rough cut, quick video. But yeah, I hope that you find value in it. So God bless you, and see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bedankt.
Okay.
En dan